I think I'm ready to start. Sorry for slide for a big delay. Almost 15 minutes. Let me see if audio is alright, because that also has been fucking up on my end. So let's see that. Audio on Twitch. There is audio on Twitch. And how about YouTube? 1 2 1 2. Microphone check, microphone check, huh? Okay, so we're live. We're here. And shit should be working. So, hi, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing alright. Here in Poland, I'm not sure of every region, but right now where I live there's like a big snowstorm. You could call it a blizzard almost. Which makes you not wanna work or do anything but just chill the fuck out at home or something. Yeah, I've been absent lately, both online and on streams. Lots of stuff happening in life, at work, etc. So that's been the case. I'm waiting for Dexterowski to show up here on chat, and here it is. Hello, hello. Because I wanted to give him some news, like you and Barabash convinced me some time ago to try with cat, and me and my partner did exactly that. We have taken a cat, and that's my strategy to get rid of my allergy, and so far it's working. So I have to thank you, Dexterowski and Barabash, for that thing. The cat has been awesome. His name is Pumbaa. He is not here at this apartment, and I'm still learning. I still have a renting, because I still have a lease until January for that, and after that I'm moving to my partner. But you know, the cat has been awesome. Dexterowski says, show what? Show him. Alright, give me a sec. I will submit him. Yeah, the cat stays at my partner, because there is no sense of bringing him here, since I only really rarely come here only for work purposes and stream purposes, etc. Because I'm mostly living at my partner's right now. But still, let me share like a photo of him, because why not? That's not what I wanted to turn on. Give me a quick sec. Sorry for the delay with the Unreal and development, but as you know, cats are important. So if someone has a problem with that, well, what can I say? Let me show you that little sweet furball. Upload the file. That's what I wanted. And let me show Pumbaa to you. Do I have like a photo just of him? Give me a sec, give me a sec. Oh, here he is sleeping, and here he is just being himself. Okay. And yep, I got it. Let me show it on stream now. I think I submitted it correctly, or at least I hope so. And yes, I did. Okay, so let me show him to you guys on stream. Thanks to Dexterowski and Barabash advice, me and my partner, we took in the cat. Here he is, Pumbaa. Once I'll move in January, at the end of January, to my partner, I'll be able to like show him like, here he is. And probably he'll be a frequent guest on stream, or I at least hope so. He will want to stay here. So here he is. He's a little cat, like he's super small. But he's cute as all living hell. So that is Pumbaa. And at the end of January and February for sure, I hope, you know, he'll be hanging out somewhere here and I will be able to like show him live to you guys. So Dexterovsky, my heads off to you. Barabash, my heads off to you. You guys inspired us, me and my partner, to try that. And you were right. I am allergic to cats, and at the beginning I had to take, you know, like my allergic medicine almost every day. But then I kind of stopped, and now I'm only taking it every couple of days, and it's been fine. It's been fine. It's just as you guys have been saying it. My allergy wasn't so bad that, you know, I would be dying because of the cat, and my organism kind of realizes, hey, now you have this little furball in your life, maybe we should stop, you know, attacking ourselves when he's around. And Pumbaa is lovely, and I hope I'll be able to show you him in February for sure, once I'll move. So, Dexterovsky said, so cute, I thought he'll be black. No, he's like a gray bluish or something. He's a British short hair. You know, ideologically, me and my partner, we are for adopting a cat, like, you know, like a stray cat, etc. But there are like other life reasons within our little family unit that we needed to consider. And that's why we chose British short hair. And he is living, breathing advertisement for that race of cats, right? Like if your family has like specific needs, or you have like specific needs for the cat, you aren't able to take stray in, and sometimes you cannot, like we had such situation, then that's the cat to have. Like, he is lovely. And I've been doing overtime lately, and he's always been by my side when I was like, you know, coding on laptop and shit at my partner's house. So yeah, like, cat is a great developer friend. So now I have no, how to say, I do not wonder anymore why so many developers want to make games about their cats, etc. Because it's like, yeah, of course. Once you get it, right? Okay, now let's get back to Unreal Engine. I know that 5.7 got released. I haven't upgraded my project to it yet, I'll be honest. Lately, for the last couple of months, I didn't have a lot of time budget, and it got even more squealed in because I was doing a little bit of overtime. And I need to remind myself, from what I remember, last time I was streaming, I was doing some metal melting, right? And if I remember correctly, Toby here was proposing like some other mechanics for metals if I were to make like the whole level around different type of metals and shit, right? So that would be cool. And I'm not sure if I finished the mechanic of like melting metal. So let me try it quickly. There's like a metal crate base. I think at the end of the stream I was so tired that I couldn't remember how the fuck to work with emissive materials. And I looked up my own material from like a year ago, and I was like, oh, of course, because at the day job I haven't been doing stuff like that for the longest time, and even at the stream I haven't been playing with materials. And to make the matter worse, with 5.7, a new completely paradigm for Unreal materials came in called Substrate, and I attended the talk in Stockholm about that. I understood almost next to nothing. It's way above my level of understanding. But at some point we will have to, you know, like sit down to it and try to figure out that shit. And oh yeah, Dexterovsky, by the way, how is your cat doing? I hope, you know, your cat is alright and healthy and happy. Alright, so let's test this out. I see that I have the player start in here already. Oh, it's been so long I was able to like just prototype gameplay mechanics. It's so lovely. And why the metal is already like this? Okay. Oh, and it's melting, it's melting, it's melting, it's melting. It's getting to the white. And without any Niagara, it melted away. Okay. Oh yeah! Dexterovsky says, which cat? I have 4 of them. Haha, but they are okay and healthy. Thanks for asking. The one that you one time submitted a photo to Discord, it was, I wanted to say a red hair cat. Although technically it's not red, but you know what I'm saying, like copper colored cat. That's the one that I think you sent. Or I might be right now, because I'm so tired, conflating it with Barabash cat. Cation. Yeah, like right now my memories are hazy, but I'll be honest, my memories are hazy about what I ate today and what I ate yesterday. So, you know, forgive me if I'm mistaken. I've been, you know, not great in mind lately. Dexterovsky says, yeah, that was Rainus. Okay, so yes, so I remembered something. Oof, thank you. Thank you for confirmation. Remus, yes, of course. But I'm glad to hear that all of them are okay. I'm glad to hear that. And it is loud as fuck. Let me like, at least on my end. Let me like quickly do this and then like turn on the mixer. Oh no, what the... Sometimes I really don't like Windows. Let's put it at like here. Okay, now I have audio that doesn't break my brain. Okay, so I see that like my flamethrower at least got fixed. I have just this. I am spawning this actor. The visuals are ugly as usual, but you know, if it works, then it works. But I see that I have some problem in my metal crate base. That it starts with the wrong color. Oh, and lately I've learned that you can do effects like changing stuff on your material for the actor without creating dynamic material instance, because creating dynamic material instance is not that performant, right? And there are better ways of doing it, but I still haven't tested it on my end. So one day I will, you know, try to learn that. Like you can do like some, what was the name of it? Like some primitives or something. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, one day we will, you know, sit down to like dynamic materials and get rid of them for something more performant, or like using material parameter control or something like that. But for these prototypes I don't mind. But what I do mind is why the hell this thing looks immediately like that. I want it to look metallic at the beginning. I kind of forgot what I was doing. I just set up bow projectile in here. What the fuck was I doing? Okay. Blueprint, metal related. Okay, didn't I have like cosmetic, just metal? What was I doing? Metal melting, I have this color curve, right? If I remember correctly, that goes from like whatever this color is to this color. And I had this bow projectile. I think I can just create like save this as another material because probably I will be doing something to metals there. Metal. Meltable. I don't know if that's the word, but whatever. And let's set the emissive parameter to 0. And let's add metallic parameter. Okay. So also, I got a question for you, Dexterovsky. How are you doing with your project? Like, are you still going on with that with Unreal, or are you fed up with Unreal right now and you changed to like something else? Or are you just going with the NVIDIA RTX branch? How is your project doing? Okay, so metallic one, you guy. That's not the color, and the base color that I want to use is it should be the different name. It's like, can I rename it? Yes, metal color. And can I just copy whatever the fuck I have in this thing? What are my values? Oh my god, do I really have to go like... I just really want to copy this starting color and I cannot. This is alpha, so... Okay, like... Now let's copy red. It is just 0.1. Okay, let's do this. I just right now I'm remembering like the frustration of working with that, but now green is also 0.1 and blue is... Oh, blue is actually higher. No, it is 0.1 as well. Okay. I just remembered why I didn't like working with this color curve. Emissive strength and metal color, and the way I am driving it in my metal metal base, which is somewhere in here. Here it is. I was just driving projectile color. Yeah, we can... I renamed that, so... Metal base, projectile color. Yeah. And one thing. It turned off. I forgot. I wanted to turn on, if I remember correctly, tools, or... Was it tools? Yes. Debug widget reflector, and I wanted to turn on key, so it will show up all the keys that I'm pressing, and mouse click where I'm clicking, and thanks to that, you know, it is easier to follow on stream where the hell am I clicking and what were the keys that I pressed, because I remember feedback from one of my friends that I am sometimes clicking shortcuts and not saying what they are, and it's hard to, and sometimes I'm forgetting to say like what I'm clicking, and that should help with that. But it shows it in Polish for some reason. I don't know why. Dexterovsky says, I'm still mad at Unreal, so I took a break from developing this project. Healthy decision. I just focus on my YouTube work because I got into some financial trouble with our lovely tax office. If I had some beer right now, I'd be like, you know, I hope you do well. No one messes with tax office. I really, you know, fingers crossed everything will go well. Dealing with them is awful, guys. If you don't know, probably in every country. So yeah, Good decision, man. Great decision. I hope tax office will leave you off. And I hope, you know, the YouTube work will bring all the, you know, stuff that you need to deal with that shit. I'm not sure if it's worth mentioning, I had one run-in with tax office and I still don't know if I'm in the clear or not. They basically, I was away for some vacation, and it's also, you know, I have a beef with our Polish postal office because those motherfuckers are sometimes lying. I'm checking my mailbox every day because that's what I'm exactly anticipating, that one day the motherfucking tax office might, you know, send something stupid that I need to take care of right away, right? And I was checking in every day. I went for 4 days for small vacation with my partner. I came back to like the in Polish it is called aviso. I'm not sure what it is called in English, but basically it is like this little document that says, hey, you got this super important mail that we wanted to deliver it to you, but you weren't here, so you can, you know, pick it up at the nearest post office, right? And the date for when they supposedly tried to deliver my message was when I was still, you know, in Poland, right? When I wasn't on vacation. Like, actually, it was like 2 weeks before I went to vacation. And I checked every day and it wasn't there. So I suppose the guy, you know, went here. I wasn't there. He was like, ah, fuck it. I'll just be mean and I will fabricate the date that as if I was delivering 2 weeks ago, right? So when I come back from vacation, I saw that. I was like, holy shit. I ran to the post office. Do you still got this mail? Because it might be something stupid. And they said like, no, it's due date, you know, was way later. We sent it back to the sender. And I was like, okay, can you at least tell me who was the sender? It was the tax office. And they only told me the name of the mail, that it was like, that there's like some case against me regarding like some tax shit. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm great with taxes, and you know, when you hear that you have a case against you with the taxes, you're like, holy shit, what the fuck is up, right? I tried to call them and I called every possible number that I could, and everywhere they told me that everything is fine, there is no case against me. So I'm like, so am I in the clear or am I not? We'll see when I will be taking mortgage in sometime in the future, right? So Dexterovsky, fingers crossed they won't fuck you up, because, you know, tax office is some serious business, guys. I remember even in Batman cartoon back in the 90s, there was an episode when Joker was, you know, acting up, but then IRS, American tax office, came to him and he was like, no, we gotta get our taxes in check because I don't fuck with them. Even I'm not that crazy. Dexterovsky says, yeah, they left me alone with 80k PLN debt for VAT overdue because I hit the VAT free limit almost a year and a half ago and I didn't knew about that. It is a complicated story. Okay, I get it. Yeah. The messaging and like between the tax office and tax laws to the taxpayers is shit in this country. And Dexterovsky then continues, because it's not entirely my fault, but my tax advisors. Yep. I totally understand you. Everything is complicated. I'm glad that they left you alone. I'm sad that they left you with the debt. Man, it sucks. I hope everything will work out for you, man. It sucks. And we got the first bot on Twitch, so let me take care of that guy. Viewers on the stream, boo. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, I'm not interested. Okay. And we're back. Okay. So we got metal color vector parameter, blah, blah, blah. And either I just broke the thing or... yeah, let me also create, of course, a material instance. Let's call it generic metal, because I'm not sure if I will be developing like more sophisticated metals, just like Toby was saying on the last stream almost a month ago. We'll see. Yeah, and let me just, you know, select that for my metal crate base. And how it looks in viewport, it looks alright. How it looks in here, it looks alright. And let's see if I destroyed everything or not. Nope, it works. It goes from yellow. And at some point it will go to white. But the emissive is gone, but I know exactly why. Because I haven't sent the emissive parameter there, right? No, I actually did. Ah, yeah, but the, you know, whatever is here and however it is multiplied by fucking whatever, it doesn't matter if my... Oh no, emissive strength is 1 and not 0. It's 1, so it should have been working. So once again, I fucked something up. I don't understand what. It should have been working. I can multiply that by 100. Oh, it's already like glowing. I think I went overboard with it, or I fucked up something again. Even though I'm using the exact same material, it doesn't behave in the same way. Okay. And it starts as yellow for some reason. Did I change something in here? No, it's still 1. Maybe it should be 0. And I should change this to 1 at the beginning of flame overlap. I should do something like this. To 1. Only when I'm heating up. Whatever. We'll see. Because I really wanted to implement like a new mechanic today. And the metal is melted. Okay. Yeah, because the idea is that every game is like, whenever you have like flamethrowers, flames, etc., it's like, yeah, burn down some snow, right? Melt some snow. And I'm like, yeah, that's been in every game. Let's burn some metal, right? And maybe like I will do some more mechanics connected to metal and, for example, conductivity, etc. We'll see, but it feels like, hey, melting metal is not something that you do very often in video games. It still is just mostly like a different coat of paint over the same mechanic, but you know, why not? If I can do something a little bit differently, why not? I might always revert back on that. So it seems like it is kind of working, but it still starts as yellow for some reason. And either I can waste like my today's shorter stream on fixing that, or I can implement a new mechanic. So I'm choosing to implement a new mechanic. This bug fix will have to wait. You will wait. Okay. So the mechanic that I want to try to do today, and I still haven't checked out this endless canvas painting tool that you proposed me, Dexterovsky, and I really meant to. Shit. I need to invest in that. Because I'll be honest, it will come in handy not only, you know, like just for this stream, but also for my regular development and business, etc. Right? So I need to check that out. And oh, I haven't turned on my tablet. Shit. Okay. The mechanic that I will try to implement today, because I have all those flames, you need to align stuff, etc. in order to work. That's like basically one and the same puzzle in different favors all the time. But what about in what way player could spark a fire somewhere, right? So we don't have any fire generator, any flamethrower, any like flame bubble spawner, but I'm still requiring a player to do something with fire, right? Or spark or whatever. So the idea is that... Great. that my guy with his awesome bow that looks like a gun will be here, and whenever we see basically a flint, right? We know that if we shoot our arrow at it, this is the angle of shooting, right? This is the normal of a flint, of its collision, to be precise. It should always bounce back, or at least the spark should fly off in a direction, you know, that is basically mirrored from that angle, between the angle of shooting or angle at which the arrow, you know, arrived at, the normal of a collision surface, which should be fairly flat for that to work. Like visually, the geometry of that thing could be whatever, but the collision of it should be flat, right? And it should produce a spark that should just fly straight in that direction, right? And I could like probably introduce some drop off or something that it could be like a actual projectile with the projectile movement and shit. That's something that I will probably also do, but at first at least I want to spawn something and let it, you know, fly in the direction I want it to feel fine, that you're shooting at this, feel cool when you shoot at this flint. It should bounce back, and it should always bounce in such a way that you can predict the angle, etc, etc, right? So let's try to implement that today. Let's put like the layer start somewhere else. Why did you change this shortcut? Okay. Okay, yeah, it can be in the shade of fucking whatever. I think this is creating the shade. I don't think I need that anymore in the level. This is something that is not needed at all. Great. So let's create a flint, and flint should be, as usual, problems with like where to put my stuff, right? I only expect there to really be only one flint that can create sparks in the game. There wouldn't be like a different type of flint that, I don't know, create like 6 sparks or whatever. Although now I'm thinking about that, it would be cool, but maybe not for that game. This is more like a logical puzzle game. And yeah, where should I put it? It's not. Is flint a metal? Not really. It's not really a metal, right? Yeah, it's just a rock. So I'm not sure if I will have like a different type of rocks that will be doing and having different type of properties. So I'm not sure if I should. Maybe. Yeah. Rock related. Rocks, maybe. And let's create like a new actor blueprint class. It will be just a regular actor, BP flint base. As usual, I'm assuming that I will create a base of logic here, and then I could maybe do like a different visualizations of flint for different specific reasons, right? I'm not sure if I will need event stick. I don't think so. What we might need is interface for arrow to interact with. Like, hey, I just fucking hit you, so please react, right? So, oh my god, what a blueprint mess. I need to fix that shit at some point. Maybe today is the day to fix that shit. On stationary target. I don't really use that anymore, but you know, the time for cleaning will be later. Stick to walls, not really. Attach the component, blah blah. Simulating at impulse physics. Add flammable component. On arrow hit confirmed, BPI arrow target hit. That's what I want to know. I need to have this exact interface, right? So let's do it. Let's class default. Where are the interfaces? Class settings, sorry. Arrow target hit, right? Okay, now we have that. We can implement that event, and now we can do something with it, right? So in order to calculate that, we need to know the normal, and we have to have a whole object, right? And right now we only have default scene root. So let's make it a cube, right? It is a big ass cube right now. It spans a couple of units if we look at it from the top side, right? Like one crate right now in here is like 10 units, right? We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is like a meter by meter cube, right? It might be a little bit too big, and for sure it is way too high. So I want it to be like something more like that, right? So let's take like not bottom perspective, sorry, left perspective, right? Yeah, this seems about right, like 20 centimeters, and the rest of it can be as big as this, right? Couldn't care less. And of course we might need some cosmetic to it. So let's create like a cosmetics here. I'm not sure if my like separation of cosmetics versus where the blueprints are is awesome thing, I'll be honest. Like I was doing it, I've seen some benefits for that, but I'm not sure if that's the correct way. There are like lots of discussions online that yeah, that's how you should separate all the skeletal meshes together, all the regular meshes together. But then when you're trying to find what gets connected to what, it's kind of problematic. So lately I've been leaning more into like domain based, like gameplay domain based placement within the folder. But you know, I went with it, so I'll stick with it. Maybe when the cleaning time will come, I will do that. Yeah, because for example, let's say you're packaging a game and you want to turn off like a couple of features. You don't want them to be in packaged game because, for example, okay, you're still working on something and you don't want those packages to go into final package, because why would you waste like 200 megabytes of your player's disk drive or things that they cannot interact with, right? So you want to make sure that this doesn't get into a cook. And when you have things spread out into multiple different folders, it's harder to achieve when you just have like, you know, the whole feature in that one folder, that one object that you interact with. It might be easier, but it might not work for every game, of course, right? So it's really contextual based, in my opinion. Okay, so we have this, new folder, rocks, and let's create like new material flint. I'm not really sure how flint should look like. In Zelda it is like in most of the games it is like a dark rock, but I'm not sure if, let's put up as a reference like images. Yeah, I won't do this. Yeah, it can be dark from this angle, but then be like this, it can be like this. Lots of different flints, right? So whatever. Short flint. This looks like meat, straight up meat. And that one. Obsidian, I love obsidian. But nah, flint is weird. If we take a look at it. So like whatever. It just needs to be instantly recognizable by player, right? So maybe there already is a texture for that, right? That would be cool. Let's see, maybe there is. Flint? Nah, that would be too beautiful. Oh, there is like some rock, basil, sandstone, slate, smooth granite. Maybe that. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't really mean too much. How about we increase roughness? So it will be like this rough. Yeah, I like that. And we can also what the fuck was that? Actually, whoa. It was basil. Okay, basil. Let's put in normals because why the fuck not? Nice, normal. Okay, I think that's all I need to do really here for like a pure gameplay prototype. Let's, of course, let's create the material instance. Flint. Generic. Yeah, whatever, I don't really have parameters in here, so fuck it. Yeah, it looks ugly, but who the fuck cares? What I really only care about is its box collision, right? Because right now I will turn off the collisions. No collision, no overlap events, no nothing. Because we will add the collision as a box collision. As a thing here, because I might, right now this object looks like that, but if I want to play around with like different looking meshes, I still want to have a box collision driving, how you could shoot at it, walk over it, etc, right? So that's exactly what we will do here. So yeah, box extend is actually like what, 1 meter, 50 centimeters. Wait, what? Okay, I messed up something with oh, 1 2 3 4 5, so 15. Okay, so why it is that big? It should be correct if those units are correct. Ah, because it's counting. Okay, never mind me, I'm just being a dumbass. Okay, now it is correct. Yes. I'm just being a dumbass. Yeah, and we have our collision. Let me just set it to block all. it should be world static, etc. And players should be able to walk on it. Overlap event, yeah, whatever. And when I'll shoot at it, it should, of course, just, you know, stop everything, right? Right? It should just work as a regular collision, right? Yeah. My arrow, you know, stays here, etc., etc. So now let's get to implementing the actual logic of, hey, arrow hit me, so I should produce something there, right? For now, we can just use debug drawing to make sure our math is correct, of course, and all of our assumptions. And then we can just create like a spark projectile that we already have. It already exists, just we need to tweak it, right? Maybe some parameters or something, and you know, everything will be alright. So in arrow, right, we should get forward vector of get actor forward vector, right? Yeah, charge is not of interest right now for us. For us, what is of interest is break hit results. I really love making gameplay mechanics with debugs because, as I often said here on stream, because you can just see what exactly is your gameplay code doing, and then you can just set it up as a quick debug to toggle on and off later. So if something fucks up, you get to quickly, you know, do it, right? You do only that work once and then you can reuse it, right? Instead of like, oh, I created the whole mechanic, but I don't have any debug tools connected to it, right? So now I have to create it because I don't know what the fuck is going on. So how about we do exactly that? Let's create an event. Dexterowski said, is it gonna emit flame or what? It will produce a spark. So when you will shoot your arrow at the flint, it should produce a spark, you know, in the direction of bounce. And that spark, you know, should be able to ignite other things. Like, for example, flammable surfaces, right? Or like some pile of dried up leaves or whatever, right? So that's the idea of like, hey, instead of like constantly relying on like flame bubble spawners, I could place like a lot of flints at some point and let the player figure out, you know, how to put something in flames, or maybe create like a chain reaction or whatever, something like this, right? So this is like another tool for a player to create a fire and direct that fire without relying on like flame bubble emitters and wind propellers, etc. Like a simpler way of doing it. And I know that at some point, and I have like a little note in my notebook that I need to think about like creating a way for a player to move things around without creating gravity gun, basically. Nexterovsky said, I would do it differently. I would code it based on physical materials. Oh, so you do it that way, that okay, arrows detects that, hey, I've hit a flint physics material, so there should be a production, like the flame spark should be produced and go into this direction. Yeah, that would also work. That would also work. And you just gave me a food for thought, because I was planning of using flint as a one-time object, that only this object in the level, once you see it, you know that you can create some flames around here, and probably you're required to do so. Right? And this would be the only way to use it. But maybe you are right that way I could introduce even some more intricate gameplay. Just base it on like physics material, produce a spark, etc. Huh. Dexterowski says, hit result is Fizmat Flint, make a for hit results is damageable, apply damage then, etc. Yeah. Yeah, you just gave me food for thought. You just stopped me in the tracks and yeah. Maybe that's the better way. I wasn't really planning on reusing flint like that, as in like outside of just, hey, here's a rock, you need to shoot at it, but doing it that way, I'm putting myself in the corner that reusing it in another context will be harder, but doing it the way you say it, right, gives me ability to do more, right? The only thing that I didn't really want to do is like to make the logic of arrow that how to say it, I wouldn't want arrow to like check the logic and spawn other actors, right? I wanted it to be on the actor's end that, hey, you just been hit by arrow, do whatever, right? On your end, but maybe that's not worth the case if I'm able to reuse this mechanic in different contexts. Yeah, I think you convinced me. Dexterowski. That's why, guys, it is always good to, you know, like talk out an idea for implementation or game mechanic with your friends, right? Have another set of, have another pair of eyes, you know, look at what you're doing, offer something that you haven't even thought of. Think about that. You might not always use it, but you know, it gives the food for thought. So thank you, Dexterowski. Yeah, so on my end, actually, you know, it could be just this regular thingy, right? I can keep, you know, like my arrow hit. Actually, I don't need that actor at all, right? I can just keep it for the sake of just, you know, still quick testing, but you're right. The only thing that I really need to do is on arrow's end. I'm checking a tag here, if it is flammable and I can add flame component, but that's old shit. Why am I calling it 2 times? I just realized that I'm calling BPI arrow target hit on arrow hit confirmed 2 times in here. So no wonder things can break. I'm not sure if that is needed 2 times, because this is the exact same call unless I am mistaken. No, I think I can just reduce the amount of shit in here, right? Okay, so if I have this interface, I can hit it and send the info like that. And the other thing is yeah, let's create the physics material. Physics material. PM. Oh my god, I have a caps lock on. PM. Flint. It's just that. It's not really doing that much, but I can just, you know, put it in my box collision. PM Flint, right? And because I'm only really searching for Flint, I don't really, it's even easier than that. Because the only thing I really need to check is like, this is like hit result. I can break the hit result. And the really only thing that I am interested in is, maybe let's, you know, check the first logic of like, hey, Is it a blocking hit? And then I want to have physics material. And if it equals flint, I can actually do end here. If it is blocking collision and if it is that, I can just spawn spark. Custom event, spawn spark. And that's okay, and I can go like spawn spark. And I should forward the hit results in here. So inputs, in hit results, and whatever I'm hitting that has the physics material of flint, however, just looking, etc., I will always create a spark. Yeah, this is a better way. Thank you, Dexterovsky. I would have locked myself to a corner in such a way that, for example, right now I'm thinking like I could have something, you know, moving, and you can shoot at it and try to, you know, create an angle to create a chain reaction. Now I have way more of a design space here. So thank you, Dexterovsky. Dexterovsky says, a fun fact, I didn't use tags feature in my projects in any place. You don't have to. It's there. You don't have to. I like using tags because sometimes tags are, if I remember, optimized because in the end they are reduced to like F names, I think, and F names are optimized version of, super optimized version of strings. So the comparison between tags should be super fast, right? And I like tags for organization, etc., but it's not mandatory, right? If you have other way of organizing stuff, that's completely alright. One thing I learned at Unreal Fest in Stockholm was that you could use, if I will be able to like quickly show you class defaults, if I remember correctly. Is it like in cooking? No. Fuck, I don't remember right now. Yeah, because these are actor tags. There's like a way to have like user tags or something like this here. Or asset tags that basically describe what this asset is in tag form, and then you can do things based on that with your cooking of a build, for example, right? Or other build related operations or asset operations, right? So that seems like a good way of usage of tags, but I don't remember how you use it. Like, is it like in data layers? No. But these are actor tags, and what the guy was showing wasn't really the actor tag. This was like additional custom user data or something like this. Nice categories, blueprint. No, it's not here. Yeah, I don't remember, but there is something that you can use tags with assets for. Dexterovsky says, and a question, the comparison with Fizmat, it is comparing it... Wait, what? The comparison with Fizmat, is it comparing it in the same instance of an object, or is it the same class? I'll be honest, in the blueprint form, I am not sure what the fuck is going on under the hood, I'll be honest, when this comparison takes place, right? I think it is just like a physics material object reference, so of course it is, you know, loaded into the memory, and this is also like a object reference, right? So I think it just these are two references referencing the same object, so it just compares that. But in C++, you can even reduce it further. You can have like a soft path pointer to a physics material, right? Set somewhere in the settings, and you can just compare the paths to the thing, right? You don't have to instantiate it, although it will be the instance of the physics material object would be still loaded into the memory, so you can safely use that, and it would be the quickest comparison. I'm not sure if I answered your question, Dexterovsky. But basically it is just an reference to an already instance object. So it is comparing like, hey, is this object the same? Yes. So let's move on, right? Or at least I believe so. Okay, now let's take those sparks. This is not boolean, this is hit result. Yep, and I want it as pass by reference and of course const. Because I wouldn't be changing it at all. So like, it looks ugly as fuck. I should clean it up, but you know, not today. That's what we say. The refactor. What the hell is going on with this blueprint? Wait, like, what even? Okay, something weird just happened. Those hit results just got unhooked. So that's great. So maybe let's just go like this instead of going fancy, because and the Control Z wasn't even working. So that's great. But yeah. Flint detection. Okay. So we are here and it's supposed to be a pass by reference, yes. Dexterovsky says, I am asking because I don't really understand things like physical materials. If we have 3 static meshes with the same physmat in memory, we have 1 instance of physmat or 3 instances of physmat? 1 instance. If I remember correctly, I think it is just 1 instance instantiated in memory, and every physics material just contains every like chaos data or whatever the fuck it is like just containing a reference to it, or at least on the actor level based, because on like chaos body, if I remember correctly, debugging something, those parameters of a physical material are kind of copied and pasted into like each physical body. But I might be mistaken. But at least for actor comparison, it is just 1 object that is instantiated. At least on the actor level. On the chaos, like physics simulation level, there might be some fuckery. It's been a long time since I debugged anything in chaos. Either here or in... I don't think I ever debugged actually code for chaos, or maybe I did. But at day job, it is a long time since I debugged chaos code. So I might not remember that. Dexterovsky says, I'm asking because I don't really understand things like physical materials. If we have 3 static... yeah, I already answered that. Turning cog, hi! As long as you are using a material instance and not jamming the master material on the mesh, then it is a 1 draw call for the material. Oh yeah, yes, of course. Me and Dexterovsky, we are talking about physical materials. So the one that is being used by Chaos, right? Chaos physics engine. That's what we're discussing. Dexterovsky says, so comparing it is the same object instance makes sense. Yeah, at least on the actor level, right? There's another thing that you could do is, for example, you could not really compare physics materials between each other, but like surface type. Like you could just take the surface type. If you have multiple surface types, you can just compare that. And if I remember correctly, this is just an enum. So you can also do that in C++ code. I don't remember if you can do that in here. Let's break it. Do we have even like... No. That's like element index, face index. Yes, we don't have like surface type in here, right? So on actor level, no, you still have to take the physmat and break it, like surface, get surface type, yeah. So possibly you can have 6 physical materials that are different, but all of them have the same surface type, right? For example, you might have different types of rocks, right? But that goes like into nitty-gritty details of how you want to manage everything, right? I can tell you for sure that you can run out of surface types and you need to edit the engine, because if you go into edit, project settings, and if I remember physics, there are like lots of variables here, blah 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 blah, and you have 62. Oh, okay, they increased it. 62 custom surface types if you really need to, you know, do this type of comparison. For example, for footsteps audio or whatever, right? You could probably just use that. There's 62 of them, but you can run out of those things if you're using it like that. So at least in my practice, I was mostly just creating physical materials and comparing them to each other, because they are already instantiated anyway in the memory, and you're not bound by the number of 62. So depending on your needs, it might work out. Okay, so let's start drawing this debug, right? So like get forward, get actor forward, right? And let's draw that. I don't remember, is it like a debug draw arrow? Yeah, we have that. But it works like this. Okay, I thought that maybe I could just point like, hey, starting point and then the vector, and that's it. I'm always forgetting what do we have in draw debug on the blueprint end of thing, but okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so line start is of course get actor location, right? And the line end will be that plus I don't know, let's make it a 1 meter arrow. Does it sound okay? So multiply load. I really don't like math in blueprints, but I already said it 100 times. Arrow size, I don't know, like 3. I'm not really sure what that means, I always forget. And let's make it yellow. This is our arrow, duration 2 seconds, thickness, we like them thick, so 5. Okay, so let's draw the angle at which we hit this thing. Now let's draw the normal angle, right? Let's quickly manage that space. Now let's just draw the normal. So in the moment of so this is our line start, the impact point, and our normal is once again this multiplied of course, let's make it 1 meter. Let's add. What the fuck? How did you came up with that? Add. That. And this is our normal, right? As usual, normal should be probably blue. Yep. And let's draw the exact line at which, you know, the bounce should happen of the spark, right? Next, Sadowski says, yeah, I get it. I don't use surface type. My code is based on Fizzmat instances because I have my custom class of them. And I have their declared properties like footstep sounds, and I can easily get them to play. Yeah, that's also, you know, workable. Like, this, in my way, this is like the both strength and a con of Unreal. That, okay, here is, you can have use physics material, you have surface types. Depending on your needs, you can like create a custom class of physics material. You can use surface types. Whatever the fuck you need, you'll do it. It probably will be okay, right? Turning Cog says, I've been 3D modeling a chandelier for like 9 hours. God damn, man. My brain is a little burned. How are you? I can get you because lately at the day job I've been doing a little bit of overtime and I understand the brain melting. 9 hours of modeling, man. You're a trooper. You're a trooper. I'm not sure if I will be able to handle that. Turning Cog. I gotta make it swing from the rafters. Okay, okay. So, so you also need to consider the, I don't know how to call it, the chain for that, etc. Damn. And whole chandelier. How big chandelier are we talking about? Like the ballroom, like chandelier. You know, kinda like in like those super expensive ballroom parties that they are showing in movies. Like in a mansion. Just like the kind of a dinner table. Ah, okay, okay. Okay, okay. And how do you like modeling? Because I find it like in Blender or Unreal, just like moving vertices around and figuring out how to get the shape is fine. But then all the UV work and all the, like, you know, fixing mistakes, etc. just, my brain hates it. It's just like, no, 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 I cannot do it. I can debug C++ code for hours on end, but UV wrapping, etc. it just makes me depressed. Medium. Okay, okay. Okay, we draw that, and now we kind of just want to take that actor forward vector and mirror it, right? I wonder, yeah, I wonder if what kind of because there are lots of blueprint functions for mathematics, etc. I wonder if they don't have already something like that. Like, hey, take those two vectors and boom, mirror it, right? Across, and treat this angle as a mirror surface. Like, mirror vector by normal. It already exists. Or mirror vector by plane. Vector 4 mirror by vector 3, get mirror. That already exists. I'll be honest, I never use those functions, right? Whenever I was doing anything remotely similar to that in C++, I was just, you know, taking vector, rotating it, okay, let's go, right? But I do wonder how it works with the blueprint, so why not use it? Why not use it? Use it, right? I never seen this function. Given a direction vector and a surface normal, returns the vector reflected across the surface normal. Produces a result like shining laser at the mirror. And the exclamation mark at the end. That's great that the people don't have to think about the mathematics behind it. And if you're curious, you can always double click it and see the code behind it. That's cool. That's cool. Turning Cog says, I finally got the hang of modeling a couple of months ago, and it's been easier going back and forth to Unreal and Blender. Oh, okay, okay. So you're modeling in Blender, okay. Have you tried the Unreal modeling tools? My partner, who is like environmental artist and 3D modeler, tried it, and she kind of said that it's mostly like, okay, for level design and prototyping, that's great, but for like the actual modeling, Blender still kind of wins, right? For her at least, right? Because she's so used to Blender. For me, I don't really have a horse in that race, but I want Epic to, you know, compete on that front with Blender because it creates a healthy competition. Blender gets better, Unreal gets better. We should all be better, right? Turnicog says, I have tried the Unreal modeling tools. I made a light bulb to push it to the limits. It was alright. Okay, okay. Oh, a question about the export from the Blender. Do you use that plugin? I forgot the name, but there's like a plugin for a Blender like that is supposed to simplify the export from Blender to Unreal, or you just raw dog it and just use a regular profile. You created your own export profile and you just use that. Tony Cox says, I'm always on the new version, so I raw dog it. Okay, okay. Okay, so get our get actor forward vector. Of course, we're taking the impact normal. Wait, sweep. Okay, whatever. We'll see if it works. Why? What is acting up with 5.6 and the reroutes? At the day job, I wasn't really been able to interact with blueprints that much, but right now I'm seeing that something is not right. There are like way more weird topographic connections that sometimes happen. Like, okay. Let's draw the another arrow. And line start is, as I said, in this point. Line end is supposed to be here as well. And why did you do this? Of course, plus, and it is that vector multiply by float 1 meter, right? And it's the bounce direction, and I want it to be like, I don't know, green or whatever. I wonder if that node works or if I hooked it up correctly, etc. That's why I like exploring blueprints here on stream, because I don't really interface with blueprints that much. I always find something new, then it's like, oh, okay, you don't have to do shit by your hand, okay. Turning Cox says they gotta break some stuff to make improvements. Yep. Yep. Alright, let's just see it. Alright, let's just see if my debug is working. It is not. What the fuck? Great. Did I connect this event or not? Yeah, I did. So... PM Flint, and what is the material here? There's no material here. Why? Why there's no material here? When I know I do have PM Flint material on my collision, and I have no collision on my cube. What the hell? One of those things is... This is one of those regular time wasters. You set it up, everything. It seems like, yeah, everything looks alright. Then you play it and it's like, it breaks at the first fucking thing. And it's probably some stupid error. So I don't really even need to like have a breakpoint in here because I know that it just stops here. Dexterovsky says, I don't know if that's the case in Blueprints, but in CPP you must turn on that the line trace should return phys material. Yeah, in line trace case I am aware of that, but in this case it is an event hit. So I assumed, and that's probably a wrong assumption in my correction, that the collision detection would always result physics material, but you're probably right that it is not the case here. Wait, use CCD, ignore, blah blah blah, multibody, trace complex on move, return material on move. So it's probably that little checkbox, right? Return material on move. What do they say? If true, the component sweeps will result the material in the results. Okay. So my assumption that on collision it will always return the phys material is wrong. And let's see if it fixed everything. Ah, of course I had a game running. So nothing would fucking happen. Yup, and my collision... The debugs are extremely weird, but at least... there's something weird going on with the rendering here. And the lines are too thick. In real life, something as too thick almost doesn't exist. At least in my opinion, but here, yeah, they are too thick. Arrow size maybe 1, because that might have been too big. And I think using impact location was wrong. I should have just used location. And it's way too short to understand what is happening. So the duration should be 3, 3, and 3. And maybe the last line end should be a little bit longer because I just want to see where the fuck it goes. And those arrows should get the fuck away. Normal is correct, but I'll be honest, those vectors don't look correct to me. Amazing. I probably should scale it up a little bit, the whole flint base, like 4 times in each XY direction, so I'll have a more of a testing space. It looks like it bounces off correctly, but it's just that the debug is not that great. This and oh, of course, because I wanted it to be 3 meters and I put 30 centimeters. Of fucking course. And yeah, 3 seconds is okay. Blah blah blah. Kinda looks correct. Yeah, I had steep angle, so it bounced back on a steep angle. If I will go like this, it should bounce in this direction. Yeah, I think it's correct. It's just My debug is not that great looking, especially the direction of an arrow. And I think I know why. Because line start shouldn't be the actor location, it should be like a little bit, you know. Subtract. Wait. I should reverse this, right? And then multiply it by float of, let's go 3 meters the same way, so it should bounce. It should be the other way around, and 300 meters to the back from actor forward reverse direction, so it's actor backwards direction. That's the line start and that's the line end, right? It should kinda be like this if I didn't fuck up my debug, and I messed up even more, I think. I love mathematics with blueprints. It's so sometimes unreadable to me. Okay, let's leave the debug as it is. But yeah. Okay. Okay, and let's maybe, you know, like put it into like create custom, like custom event. Yep, it's like spawn spark debug, right? And actually, that is the direction. Like, let's add the variable. Let's call it spark spawn direction. Let's turn that into a vector and let's set it. This is our actual spawn spark direction, right? And that is something that should be calculated up front. Yeah, like let me clean this up a little bit right now, shall we? So let's take all of that shit, put it in here. So it will be just a debug with maybe like a small boolean be and oh my god, be enabled, right? And it's a boolean. Yeah, so we're building gameplay and debug at the same time. It's enabled, then do all of that logic, but instead of that, just take the spark direction, right? Take the spark direction. What is the error? Ah, of course. We need to add and hit results. Hit result. All of that passed by cons reference. Great. Great. We fixed that. And this is our debug. Great. We can delete all of that shit and all of that shit. And we can just leave our actual important logic for the gameplay, which is really just that. Setting up the Spawn direction. And we can just spawn actor. Rotated it towards that direction and, you know. And we got that, really. Spawn, spark, debug. Just do this. Pass in the heat results and we got that, really. Oh, and yeah. Turn that off so we can just do this and that and turn off then on the debug if something will break. So we could detect, like, for example, hey, the normal of the mesh is fucked up or whatever, right? Real quick. So, yeah, so now I don't remember how Flame Spark projectile was working. Was it affected by gravity? Yep, it was affected by gravity. Good bounce, blah blah blah. Yeah, so we need to create like a child of it. Flamethrower spark projectile. Great child blueprint class BP flame spark, or should I call it flint spark projectile? Because from what I understand and remember, this logic is still valid. Oh, turn on gravity time from start. I forgot about that. Okay, so that's actually cool. And then if I take a look at the logic, yes, it is tracing if it can attach to flammable surface and start fire, right? And then like other things can happen. Great, freaking great. That's exactly what we want. We only want to tweak the variables here. What was the variable name of gravity related? Turn on gravity time from start. So at the beginning, I don't want it to be, you know, like affected by gravity. I want it to cartoony, like bounce back, and only after some time, like fall off, right? In a very cartoony fashion. But I see that. No, it should be visible, gravity related. Ah, it is, of course. After 2 seconds, maybe. And if I understand, it is always going in forward direction, right? So I need to rotate the actor. And that's it, really. So we got our flint projectile. Let's get back our arrow. So spawn actor from class. BP flint projectile. Let's track pin, right? Bounce spark direction should be to rotator. Rotator from axis to angle. Wait, what? Isn't there like a helper to turn it into rotation? Yeah, rotation from X vector. That's exactly what I'm searching for. If I remember correctly, the naming of the blueprint functions. The location should really not be just the hit location, because then the spark will immediately interact with the wall. So I have to like move it a little bit further. Nexerovsky says, and friendly reminder, on FAP is Black Friday sale. Yep. I believe so. You can purchase plugins and assets in good prices. Yep. I really recommend looking through it. You might find some assets for your games in prices, you know, that will be great for your budget. So, thanks for the friendly reminder, Dexterovsky. And Seon is here. Hello there! What's cooking? I'm making sparks. Gameplay mechanics and stuff. And how are you doing? What are you playing lately? Seon. How are you doing and what are you playing? Let me just see quickly, like, what was the collision settings on that? It is projectile. So maybe I don't have to move my spark in some weird way, which might produce errors. That's the thing. On my flint base, my box has a physics material like that. But what I need to do is make sure that it ignores... It cannot ignore projectiles, because then it won't interact with my arrow. So spark being a projectile as well. Yeah, I just have to move it. Not really that hard. I just have to move the spawn transform location in the spark spawn direction from this regular ass hit location. What the hell is it doing? What the... There's something weird with reroutes in 5.6. I need to migrate this project to 5.7. I need to take this location, add spark spawn direction plus, like, I don't know, like 5 centimeters. Right? Just offset it just a tad bit, maybe like even 15 centimeters, right? Let's offset the spawning like that. And always spawn ignore collision. Instigator is this. Good reference to itself. Why? Oh, only pawn can be. Do I have like the owner of the arrow? Does something like that exist? No. So we won't be giving any instigator in here. But that's a food for thought, that maybe I should be like passing the owner of the projectile to the projectile, so I can always check for who was the actual instigator of that. Okay. Yeah, so let's see if it works. It does. But the spark isn't really flying very far off. And it's not colliding with the ground, so that's suspicious. I wanted it to be a little bit stronger, so let's change the parameters of our projectiles, shall we? I am in flint, yes, I am in flint, class default. And maybe like 5 seconds, and let's adjust the speed. Like that. It was way too much. That was before. Let's increase it just tenfold. Almost. Sion Broadcast says, "Ha, you know exactly what I'm playing. However, Stardew Valley got my attention again. And those joystick awards again reminded me about Expedition 33. Oh, both great games. I love Expedition 33. I really love. I need to finish it though, but the time budget is completely fucked up. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it this year. It will probably win the game of the year, and I still wouldn't have beaten it. But meeting those folks at Stockholm, in Stockholm at Unreal Fest was a blast. I'll be honest. There's a lot of shit talking online, but you know, meeting face to face, those are really genuine developers that were surprised by what happened and how well their game was received, and they kind of are still grasping like what the fuck happened, right? And Stardew Valley, what did Stardew Valley got some update or something? That's also one of those indie darlings, right? Everyone wants to have that kind of success, like develop something for years and years, release, and then just have an awesome game to still be constantly updating, and you know, this passion project. So I would say that it probably should be even 5 times faster. That seems alright. Whoa! I hit the edge and it bounced back in here. That's actually quite funny. And the projectile never dies. What is the lifespan of this shit? Lifespan? I don't have it set here, so it must have been set here? No, not really. Okay, only after hitting something it dies, and... Okay. That's a nice logic. A branch and 2 things are being spawned at the same time. I don't remember what it was. I need to clean it up at some point. Okay, so like... Oh, it has a lifespan of 10 seconds. Okay. Also, I think, yeah, maybe actually the amount of charging of bow should correspond to how strongly the spark is, you know, bouncing back. That might be a nice feature. And of course, there should be like an the effect or a sound playing. So maybe let's, you know, add something like that before I run out of time for today's stream, because today's stream is going to be a little shorter, I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm glad that I even was able to find time today for streaming. It's been rough. The second half of the last quarter of this year was rough on time for me. Sion broadcast. Sion says, last update for Stardew Valley was a year ago and new update is in works. Yeah, it's a passion project. Keeping it alive is a great proof of that, and yeah, a lot of folks love it. Yeah. Yeah, like some people are claiming, oh, it only got successful because it did what Harvest Moon wasn't doing a lot of years ago. But I think lots of Stardew Valley players don't even know that Harvest Moon exists or existed before it, and that was the main inspiration behind the game, right? It's just an awesome game, right? So let's not take the credit away from the guy that made it, because there were lots of farming games before that and none of them got on like that, right? So what I wanted to do, yes, the charge. I wanted to change the speed of projectile movement depending on the charge, and it should probably also correspond to curve, but right now I will do just a linear interpolation. for that, so do I have, yeah, I have arrow charge normalized, right? As a value, just as a passing value, great. So spawn spark, projectile movement. Wait, can I just go speed? No, I have to take the whole component, right? And then I can set speed. Speed. Set initial speed. Yeah. But I wonder if it works even. Like, let's put it at like something super slow, 30, and let's see if that even works. Right? No, it doesn't. So that's not the way to do it. Like, how the fuck can I affect that after it's being created? What kind of things I can do here? Like with the speed, I can only Turning Cog says, Harvest Moon was my first. I was dating a woman and she was digging through my games and she was like, do you even know what do you have here? And so we spent the summer playing Harvest Moon. Nice. Nice story. Nice. That's a great summer playing Harvest Moon. With a date. That's great. Sion says, sure, Stardew Valley just hit the mark in the right moment and time, I think. I knew about Harvest Moon, but honestly, that was not my thing. Then Stardew Valley came out and it clicked. Maybe because of the art style, maybe else. I think it is a sum of its parts and even more, right? Everything in this game clicks on its own, and then the sum of it is way bigger than the actual sum of its parts, right? So, you know. Cian says, would therefore check out the co-op in Stardew Valley. Is it a hint? Let me remind you that, you know, holiday is coming and we got another game to to play as in our tradition. So I'm not sure if I would be able to join you for co-op in Stardew Valley and play that other game as in our tradition, right? So, you know, I think let's stick to our tradition, man. And after that, yeah, we'll see. After that, we'll see. Especially after I will move, I probably will have better access to like PC, etc. So I might be way more, able to play at some time. Because right now it's super rough. Sion says, yeah, let's stay in touch. Sure. Okay, so what the fuck can I do? Like velocity. I have to go with velocity, right? But can I just set it in local space? Yeah, thank you. So that way I can just really do the X and that's it, because that's the forward. And let's see if it works. Like, if I can affect that. If not, then I'll have to do it on another stream. It does. So now what we can do as a quick linear interpolation, go interpolate. What the fuck? I just wanna layer float. Thank you. From like, I don't know, 100 to, what do I have set in here as a, to 5,000? Yes. Of course, it should be organized a little bit differently. Let me remind you, this is a dirty, ugly ass fucking prototype with dirty ass blueprints, etc., etc. So, you know. Arrow charge normalized. And now we should have, the more we charge, the stronger is the spark bounce. barely charges like that. Yep. Although it would be fucked up to require player to like hit the wall at specific angle and calculate hit something that far, unless it is a big ass object. But it gives, you know, like a food for thought, and maybe we could like, you know, maybe balance it a little bit better. So go with like 1,000 units per second. Yep, it is nice. Let me just on the spark turn off. Where the fuck is the spark? Ah, yes. Let me turn off the visibility of the sphere collision. I don't want that. Oh, it is hidden in game. So it's probably overridden by this, right? Why the hell is this visible? Let's turn this shit off. Ah, I know. I just remembered. I know. What is going on in here? Because I am doing traces here. The traces have debug turned on. Yes. Now it works. Why it doesn't hit the surface target? I have no idea. I mean the ground, but I don't think we need more the effects here. We already have enough as it is. Maybe just like a sound, like ping, that you just hit that. I wonder if we have anything in here that could like show. Do we have any like maybe placeholder audio that could work? No explosion. These are not the type of sparks that I'm looking for. Birds, snow, music, steam, wind. That is good enough placeholder for that thing. So that's exactly what we will do. We will play that. And yeah, our projectile here, and also play sound. Actually, I want this to play at 2D because kind of like with certain gameplay specific sounds, sometimes you just want to hear even from afar that you hit that thing, right? So let's at least for now do it as a 2D. And yeah. But that sound is not hearable at all. Volume multiplier, I don't know, fucking 5? Now. And it works. We got the flint and the spark working. We omitted getting ourselves into design space corner thanks to Dexterovsky's suggestion. So once again, thank you for that. And I think it will be it for me today. Today is a shorter stream, so sorry for that. Yeah, and on the next weekend, I think I actually might be streaming on Saturday, because I won't be able to stream on Sunday, I think. So next week I'll try to stream on Saturday. I hope it will work out. As usual, you know, the Discord is here, and I will be always doing the announcements whether I will be able to do a stream or if I will have to cancel like last week. I'm very sorry for that, but it was like really, how to even say that, like up until the last moment I thought that I would be able to do it, and then shit happened, and not literally, but that wouldn't stop me. But you know, and something happened. I was like, ah, fuck, I'm sorry guys, you know. So the life. Leksowski says, no problem, thanks for the stream after a long time. Yeah, I hope next year, at least since February, I hope I'll be able to do it, you know, way more often. Now it is a harder time because of lots of reasons, but I will try to, you know, do it as much as I can. Tony Cox says, oh no, he's living to live his life in the world. What shall we do? Yep. See you, dude. Yeah, see you guys. And I hope you have a wonderful, you know, rest of Sunday and a wonderful week ahead of you. So hopefully see you guys on the next Saturday.